Hey YouTube. Hey, Big Bear Homestead here. We showed you how to skin the coon. We showed you how to flesh the coon. And now we're going to show you how to stretch the coon, to stretch the hide. What I have here is a large stretcher. Now you can make them out of boards. They've got plans on how to make them out of boards. I don't really like the boards as much as I do the metal ones because they're quick and easy. She was kind of a hard one to size. I'm going to go with this size just because. They've got smaller sizes for muskrats. You could probably get a small coyote on this one. They got a little bit bigger ones for coyotes and foxes. You could probably get a fox on this one with no problem too. But they also have hoops for beavers, which I have. But when we go, we got a guy calling us wanting us to come get some beavers from him, so we'll end up catching some beavers, and I'll show you the hoop one with the beavers later on. But all you do is you take your hide, your fleshed hide, and you work it down on your stretcher. Your whole goal is to get the nose right there on the point. Okay? This is your first stretch. And you want to stretch it out real good. Okay? So, then you take your hooks right here, okay? And hook them in the fur down here at the bottom. And let it hold it. Okay? And that's all you do. Okay? And then you let it sit up. We'll hang it up on a nail in there. And every couple of days, we'll come by, and as this starts to dry, we'll be able to scrape it with an old dull knife or a spoon or something. We'll be able to eventually get all of this stuff off. I wasn't very comfortable with trying to do it on my fleshing beam because the thing broke out on the bottom while we were doing it. So we'll take our time, we'll do that, and then we've got an order already. If somebody wants a just a little throw blanket, so I'm not going to cut out an inspection window, but once you got it good and it's almost nearly dried, you would cut out a nice inspection window, so that way the inspector can see the fur, touch it, feel it, make himself feel all good. But there's all kinds of tricks to the trade. I'll show you later on about helping to improve your grade. But right now, I'm just going to walk in there, I'm going to hang it up on a nail, and I'm going to leave it alone and just come check it every couple of days. Stretch it down even more, stretch it down even more, pull it tighter, and then start to get the stuff that we missed on the fleshing beam with a dull knife or a spoon. And that's how you do the old raccoon, stretching them out. Now some folks like to hook one of these into the tail and stretch out the tail, but I'm not one of those. I don't really like it. Nobody's ever really showed me how to do that. But I like to hook it up here to the body to keep it good and tight. It's almost like if you were in the military, had the used to make jokes about dropping the quarter, see how high it bounced. That's how tight you want it. You want it good and tight. And you just hang it up and let it dry. So, in our series so far, I showed you some basic tools that you need to get trapping, some books to read up on, how to dye, how to wax, how to set a coon trap. One set in the beginning series, I showed you 1 or 2 sets on how to set a coon trap. How to, once you catch the coon, you dispatch the coon. Now that's one thing I didn't cover in the coon trapping video. I'll cover right here real quick. Always carry a 22 pistol with you on your trap line, something along that line. If you can't set them up on a drounder and you don't have a choke stick, you could take and pop them on the head, give them one good crack on the head, and then, I mean, you can step on their throat and then choke them out that way, or you can use a choke stick to choke them out. Or you can take a 22, take a pop to the head. That's what we did with her. We just shot her with a 22. Now, for you guys that are also going to be cleaning the skulls, I suggest take your choke stick. If you're catching them around water, take your choke stick, choke them down, and then just hold them under the water and drown them. And that way you don't do any damage to the skull. And so now it'll sit up here and it'll stretch and dry depending upon the weather, a couple of days to a week, and then we will show you guys the next step, and that's tanning it. So thanks for coming by. Don't forget to check us out on the web at www.bigbearhomestead.com. check us out on Facebook, give us that old like, and if you got any questions about anything that you've seen in the trapping videos so far, hit us up on Facebook in the message department or post it on the timeline. We don't really care. We'll answer them to the best that we can. If I don't know the answer, I know somebody that does. And again, check with your local state. Get involved in your Trappers Association. Get hooked up with the Georgia Trapper Association if you're here. They're good folks there. And get out there, get your traps, get set. Thanks for coming by and have a great